Welcome to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Butel alongside the head coach of GCU men's basketball team, Bryce Drew. And Coach, you're winners of 6 straight, 10-3 overall, 4-0 in the Western Athletic Conference. But when you look back at maybe that Bethesda matchup and keeping that pattern of back-to-back games, did that help you kind of keep in that rhythm?
It did. The back-to-backs, I think the more you do, the more comfortable you get with it. You know, the first one, it was a totally different routine, and, you know, we adjusted some things for the second game back-to-back with Bethesda, and then I think by this third one, we kind of have the routine down now, so it was really helpful.
Wins over Dixie State, you grinded out on Friday with a 3-point victory, then you bounced back on Saturday and you outran them 81-46 in that second game. Can you kind of take us through those first 2 games and how you approach the team going into each of them?
You know, watching scores across the country, it's just, you know, game to game is so different, and it's almost like 2 completely different teams playing the next night. And so, you know, the first night, Dixie played really well. They executed, they made shots. They were more physical than us, which really was different for our team. You know, we got pushed a little bit more than what we were used to. And I think the second night, you know, our guys realized that we had to be more physical in the paint. And I think it started right away with Ali and Ash. They really set a tone those first 4 minutes, and I think our other guys followed then for the rest of the game.
Mikey Dixon in game 1, especially in that second half, really came on strong. 17 points in game 1, 8 points in a 64-second span overall. And he mentioned something in the postgame. He said that you mentioned when you catch it, you either shoot it or you drive it. And he's been driving it. He's getting a little bit more confidence maybe with the mask that he's taking it to the basket.
He is. You know, it's very tough to play with that mask over your face. And I mean, he comes in every day and you know, he tries not to wear it here, not to wear it there, and you know, he's ready to get it off, and he's really close to getting it off, which is going to be great. But he's done a really good job with playing with it, because it does limit your vision a little bit. There'll be some catches that come and he bobbles it, and you're like, why is he bobbling it? And you know, it is the mask. And so he's done a really good job, I think, making progress with the quick decisions. And he made some really good decisions, obviously, in that stretch, when to shoot it, when to drive it, and he made shots.
You mentioned the physicality in game 2. Ashbourne Midgard had the double-double in game 1, comes back, almost hits the double-double in game 2, but he continues to just impress on the court, and he's consistent.
He's been very consistent, and you know, he's shooting the ball so well from the field. When he misses a shot, you're almost like, what happened? You're so used to him making everything. But I think he's made 11 straight now. You know, he ended that series making 11 straight field goals. And, you know, it's not like they're all layups. He makes a couple 15-footers and steps out a little bit. So really pleased with how he started out this conference season. You know, the big challenge for him is going to be, you know, as teams keep collapsing and game planning for him, you know, can we still find ways, and can he still find ways, you know, to score and be effective?
When obviously game 1 went the way it went, and you guys have a short turnaround like that, how do you approach game 2? Because you obviously made some changes with your staff to approach game 2 that quickly.
You know, it's a late night, these back-to-backs, especially, you know, we're seeing all these teams a lot for the first time. And so you don't have, you know, a ton of background history to know what they're going to do. And so they made some nice adjustments on our Friday game that they had not done, you know, in previous games. And so, you know, we were up, you know, really late watching film, breaking it down, and then finalizing our game plan in the morning. And then, you know, we had a shoot around, so we went through some adjustments we were going to make on defense, some adjustments we were going to make on offense, and really proud of the guys, because without really practicing it, just kind of walking through it and watching it, they were able to make those adjustments going into that game on Saturday.
And your bench continues to be productive. Chance McMillan comes in, he had double-digit scoring, and he was also a disruptor defensively for you. Talk a little bit about Chance.
You know, he's improving by the game. Very young freshman, doesn't have a lot of, you know, experience, and so every minute he gets out there, he's just growing and blossoming and getting better. He shoots the ball really well, and so I think it kind of starts there that he can help space the floor for us. But we've been very pleased with his defense, like you said. Freshman, it's really hard to play on the defensive end, a lot harder than the offensive end, and he's done a really good job picking up with the pace, working in practice, improving his defense.
One thing off the court before we take a timeout is the WAC expansion. A number of teams from Texas, Southern Utah have joined it. Obviously, this brings a little bit more awareness to the Western Athletic Conference. What's it mean to you and your staff?
You know, it's a huge announcement. I think it's a huge step moving forward for our conference. For the men's basketball side, again, we're adding 5 schools that have all been to the NCAA tournament since the year 2000. So immediately, our basketball conference just got a lot better. All of our net rankings as a conference and individually should be a lot higher now just with the addition of these teams. And so also I think the footprint, being really prevalent in Texas, being really prevalent, here in Utah and Arizona, California, obviously Seattle. So we have some really good cities, I think, where we can get support and get good media coverage. So I think it was a great day, but it just made this league a lot harder, to get that bid to go to the NCAA tournament.
Coming up, they normally work behind the scenes, but now they're in the spotlight. The student managers are mic'd up.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
I'm personal injury attorney James Bergener. Accidents can happen. If something happens to you or your family, call me. My firm and I will take you by the hand and guide you through everything. You see, personal injuries are just that. They're personal. You're not a number. You're more than just a name. This is your life. At my firm, each case is professionally and personally tailored to you. So if you've been injured, I've got your back. Call me now for a free consultation.
About time you washed it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. We want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Center Court with the Lopes is presented by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. And also brought to you by Cox Business. They're an integral part of the team, and recently the student managers went from the background to the foreground, even getting some love on Twitter from college basketball analyst Jay Billis. And this is why.
Right, he said 9:45, right?
Yeah, I was confused with that.
Okay, yeah.
Coming off. That's awful. Abjorn.
Oh, okay, all right.
A little bit of juice, buddy.
Get up then.
They did this poll, do you want Ale mic'd up or the managers? And the people voted for the managers.
These are tough. What up, top 10? Huh?
Can I buy those?
Nah, these are mine.
I'm mic'd up, look.
Oh, what's good?
Hey, say hi to the people from Vallejo. Watch me clamp real quick.
I swear I just saw a cutout move.
I'm ready.
I can quote 90% of cars by myself.
Sir! Oh, really, Ale? Does Preston get a mic? Absolutely not. Yeah.
First team. Oh, yeah!
Hey, this is my song. All right, back to work. The guys are saying you haven't been passing good enough.
Let's go! Yes, sir.
2 shots. Was that even the right spot? Is it Canes postgame? Canes is postgame. 40 Caniacs.
Here we go.
Oh, no. Hey! That's too easy for him. That's too easy. Gate. Oh!
Punch it!
Hi, Caniac. Hey, this is a GCU victory. Signing off.
What's up, baby?
We're not used to this American defense. Okay, never mind.
We're gonna have to cut that. It's cash money, though. No, it's not.
Well, Coach, you want your team focused. Are the managers as focused after that piece? I'm not sure.
After watch, I don't know if they are. I have to go back and check them a little bit more. But But what a great piece. These guys come in every day, and again, they do laundry, they clean the floor. I mean, they do the dirty things. They never complain. They have such a joyful heart, and are so thankful. And watching that video, like, I know they're super hard workers and they're real efficient, but I mean, they have a future like in television, and we might need to mic them more because that's more entertaining sometimes than other things that's going on in our program.
Up next, her team continues to make a statement in the WAC. Molly Miller joins the show.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
As we look ahead to the Women's Hoops upcoming schedule, brought to you by Cox Business. A couple of updates as Idaho State comes to the desert on Friday for a matinee. Then the conference matchups against Tarleton move up from the originally scheduled 9th and 10th to this Monday and Tuesday to kick off the month of February. All games and times are subject to change, and as always, a reminder, all home games can be streamed on the GCU YouTube channel, gculopes.com, or the Lope Nation app.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Butel alongside the head coach, GCU women's basketball, Molly Miller. And Molly, since we last spoke, a lot has happened off of the court, and the Western Athletic Conference has expanded. What does this mean for your team and for this university?
I think it's a great opportunity considering the caliber of teams that we're bringing in. It's just going to strengthen our conference, heighten the competition, which as a coach you always love. I think put our conference on the map a little bit more. And then it's got great implications for postseason play when you're playing the higher level competition. So some great schools with like-minded leadership coming into our conference that really want to see success in their athletic programs, but also the experience for the student athlete is really important to them. So I think that is a great mixture to kind of form a conference that's strong and something that you want to be a part of. And that for us at GCU is something that we really pride ourselves in, is just competing against the best. And I always tell our kids, to be the best you have to play the best. So I think that's kind of materializing here.
There wasn't too much advanced scouting knowing that you were taking on the Aggies with the schedule, but how did you approach game one and how did the team approach it?
We're always going to kind of rely on our pressure defense, and they're super athletic, probably the most athletic team that we'll see in the conference. So we knew that we were going to have to really get down in a stance and guard. I thought we did an okay job of that. Offensively, we were a little stagnant and still with their athletes guarding us. They had a good game plan against Katie Scott, and I thought they did a good job on her, which should open our perimeter up a little bit. We weren't hitting shots. Our free throws were not good that game. So, for us to have the chance to win in regulation, we felt good about that because we didn't play our best basketball. The kids executed board to court perfectly, and we got a good look, so that's all you can ask for. And sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. But to be in a position like that, we felt good going into the next game with some slight adjustments that we could be okay. And the girls did a great job focusing in, less than 24-hour turnaround, making some adjustments that I really think were game changers for us in the short term. And then coming out, and again, we weren't hitting shots, but I told them basketball's a game of runs. Ours is coming, our momentum's coming, and just use that shift. And they did a good job and put a couple of runs together and strung them together, and fortunately ended out on the winning side.
Yeah, and you shut them down defensively for over 6 minutes to close things out. So that was a huge positive. You mentioned Katie Scott. Do you feel that teams will really target Katie, and when a team like New Mexico State kind of shuts her down, how's a team adapt?
Oh, of course. I think a lot of the game plan and scout will go around her because she can score the basketball. She can score it really, really well. So she's going to have to be patient. We tell her to get her numbers or to be able to contribute, she's got to make winning plays. And those winning plays are rebound putbacks. She had a charge in that second game. Offensive rebounds is huge. Defensive rebounds is huge. Setting great screens is big. They weren't giving a lot of space, so we wanted to put her in more ball screens. And when we did that, we got LP loose a little bit and her able to drive to the basket. So that was an adjustment we're going to make. If they're going to focus so much in on the inside and on Katie, it's going to open up our perimeter play. And TC, LP, Nana, I thought they did a great job of stepping up. And obviously Tavia had opened up some things for her on the outside because they were so focused on the inside that she was able to get some clean looks. And we've got all the confidence in the world when Tavia is shooting the ball.
Yeah, I was going to bring her name up next. 17 points in that second game. Nice to see other players step up like that.
Yeah, you know, when someone's focused on the outside or the inside, you can kind of counter that by your game plan. So they had a lot of bodies around Katie, so it opened up the perimeter for us a little bit. We used that to our advantage, and Tavia definitely capitalized on that.
How does the team continue to prepare, knowing now upcoming this next weekend to see if an opponent is going to be faced by your squad?
Yeah, we practiced yesterday, and we obviously just tell them be ready at any given time to lace them up and toss it up because we're trying to find games. We want to play as much as possible as we can. It's tough to schedule since everyone's in their conference play right now, but if someone else got shut down, we're always looking to see who they played and see if we can figure out how to get a game in because we want to play. I want to give these girls the opportunity to play. So we're going to practice like we're going to play tomorrow. And so that's just kind of the day by day that we're living with.
Coming up, though he's one of the more soft-spoken, Javon Blackshear Jr.'s play speaks volumes on the court. Lopes Insider Paul Coro catches up with the sophomore guard.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain, with the sauce. The sauce, it gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
I got the sauce, yeah. Hey, I got the sauce, yeah. Hey, I'm out here flexing, never lost, yeah. Hey, I'm out here flexing, never lost, yeah.
Blackshear trying to peel away, does so. Stops. Look at that! Blackshear beyond the arc for three. Go!
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Butel alongside Bryce Drew. And Bryce, I've got to talk about the floor general for a moment. Javon Blackshear Jr., the sophomore, is stepping up, leading the team in minutes, assists, and steals for your team early on this season. You've got to be impressed with the sophomore.
You know, his progress, I've seen film from his freshman year, and he had some really good moments. And, you know, you improve a lot from a freshman to a sophomore. That's kind of the year in college, I think, where you take a really big jump if you're going to be a good college player. And there's no doubt, you know, Javon has taken that step. You can see him more aggressive on the offensive end. You can see more confidence just on both sides of the floor in things that he does, and the confidence, you know, in his own ability to make plays for our teams. So we have really enjoyed his improvement, and we're a much better team, you know, when he plays well and he plays with that confidence. So the point guard is such an important position, probably the most important on the floor, and the great thing is, you know, we have a really good one.
Well, Lopes Insider Paul Coro recently sat down with point guard Javon Blackshear Jr.
Crafted, sneaking into crack. Oh, picked off! Blackshear off the glass! 3, 2, 1. He's got to put it up. He does. And it's good! Really nice job.
Javon, most people that watch GCU basketball know you as Javon, but around here and everybody close to you knows you as Nuna. Where does that come from?
My godparents, when I was younger, they just called me Nuna Head. So when I made my social media, probably 2011, and made Nuna Head, then as years went on, we got a little publicity from our high school, and people stuck with it and called me that. So that's what I run with now.
Now you came here for Midnight Madness when you were in 8th grade, and that's when your dad said that he wanted you to come here. What do you remember about that night?
It was exciting, very loud. I didn't know too much about GCU at the moment. They was recruiting J.J. Rhymes, so that was my former teammate. So I knew they had a good environment here, and I wasn't getting recruited at that time, so I was just waiting for my turn, and I ended up here.
And then you kept coming back to more Midnight Madnesses after that, right?
I got some invites, so it was a great experience the first time, so it was no point of not coming, so I went to a few more, and yeah.
What did your dad like about it so much? What did he see in it as a fit for you?
One, we're a big family and we love like family, so I think really because it was close. 2, the coaches, the environment. Oscar was here. We knew Oscar from back home, so it just felt good.
Did that make you feel like instantly a little bit more comfortable here because everything was so familiar about it once you started playing and going to school here?
Yeah, and then like I said, as I started to get recruited by GCU, the coaching staff then I was familiar with because it was recruiting my teammates, so I was seeing them, talk to them, had conversations, so it just kind of made it easy.
This year it looks like you really have developed your perimeter shot. How much time did you spend on the off season, and did you change anything with it?
A lot. Spent a lot of time in the gym shooting. I'm working on putting more arc on my shot, shooting with more confidence, and just trusting every shot is going to go in.
You got so many minutes as a freshman, unusual, but you were able to do things most freshmen can't do. Where did that put you at for this season coming in?
It did me real well. Like you said, I was playing lots of minutes, so it was either I was going to get in there and not do nothing or get in there and contribute. So I tried to contribute, learn as much as possible. We had a point guard last year who was older. He didn't get to play, but I learned a lot from him. He was a good, fast, crafty point guard, so I learned a lot from him, and then it just helped me.
And now you got a couple point guards as coaches, Jamal Walker and Bryce Drew. How does that help you inform the way you're playing this year?
This year with those coaching staffs, they're with point guards, so they know the spots that I need to get to or things I need to work on or what they see defensively, all that type of stuff, so it seems a little easier.
Up next, the defending WAC champs are coming to the desert. How is Coach Drew preparing his team for their matchup against the Aggies? We'll find out next.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain, with the sauce. The sauce, it gives you a little bit of, and the cheese, it's the exact right amount of, it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Joel Embiid is unhappy.
Like, really unhappy.
Because the internet keeps using not-so-amazing GIFs to react to his amazing highlights. Mountain Dew presents the Joel Embiid Deserves Better Reactions GIF Collection.
Now I'm so happy.
I'm personal injury attorney James Bergener. Accidents can happen. If something happens to you or your family, call me. My firm and I will take you by the hand and guide you through everything. You see, personal injuries are just that. They're personal. You're not a number. You're more than just a name. This is your life. At my firm, each case is professionally and personally tailored to you. So if you've been injured, I've got your back. Call me now for a free consultation.
It's time for the Talking Stick Resort Play of the Week. Play in style.
Stone. Up high. No doubt about it. Gabe McLaughlin puts it home.
Stone with a little trickeration. It's time to take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Cox Business. The month of January comes to an end with a conference showdown as the Lopes try to dethrone the defending WAC champs. The games against New Mexico State will take place on the 29th and 30th at GCU Arena. A reminder that all home games can be seen on Fox 10 Extra or live streamed on the GCU YouTube channel, gculopes.com, or the Lope Nation app.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes. And Coach, coming up, you've got New Mexico State, the team at the top, the defending champs, but a team that I don't know how you're going to scout because unfortunately due to COVID, they've been really hit hard. Their last game was December 28th at Cal State Northridge. They're just played 3 games in the entirety of their season so far. How do you approach that matchup?
It's tough. It's tough from an all-around perspective. Obviously for them, they haven't played games, but then also it's tough for us because we haven't seen, enough to really say, hey, this is for sure what they're going to do. This is for sure going to be their rotations. This is what they're looking to do. You can get an idea maybe from the past with some of the players, but they have a lot of new pieces this year that are really good. And so, we can anticipate, I think, some maybe a little tweaks here and there with some of their personnel, but definitely a tough scout, when they've only played 3 games and not played in a month.
Do you wonder if you're going to face a team that's fresh or a team that's rusty coming into game play? Certainly when these two teams face each other, the energy level is ramped up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think there's advantages and disadvantages, for both teams. Obviously for them, they haven't played, but on the backside, they've been prepping 3-4 weeks for our game. Basically scouting every minute of us and seeing, a whole portfolio of what we do and who we are. And then, us on the other end, like you said, going in, we don't know exactly what they're going to do or who's going to even be playing for them, right now. So there's advantages, disadvantages both ways, but they're a really good team. Obviously very talented, very well coached. And, last year, obviously rebounding was a really big thing. They dominated the league in rebounding. So, that's going to be, I think, a challenge for both teams is, who's going to rebound the basketball better.
All right. My thanks to head coach Bryce Drew, and my thanks to you for tuning into Center Court with the Lopes.